What's the most disrespectful thing a teacher ever did to you? My 8th grade English teacher, Mrs. Crawford, had it out for me from day one. She'd constantly call me names, saying I was too stupid for honors classes, and that I'd never amount to anything. The worst part was she did it in front of the whole class. The breaking point came during our creative writing assignment. I'd worked for weeks on a short story about my grandfather's experience in World War II. It was deeply personal. He told me these stories before he passed away the year before. When I turned it in, Mrs. Crawford read it aloud to mock it. She said it was completely unbelievable, and that I'd obviously plagiarized it from some war movie. She gave me an F and made me stand in front of the class while she explained why my writing was pathetic. The whole class laughed as she tore apart my story, calling the dialogue fake and the battle scenes something only a child would imagine. She finished by saying, "This is what happens when students don't have the intelligence for creative thinking." I tried explaining that these were real stories my grandfather told me, but she cut me off. "Don't lie to make excuses. Your family probably doesn't even have any veterans." The class laughed harder. She then made me throw my story in the trash in front of everyone, saying it was where garbage belongs. Some kids started chanting "trash story" as I walked back to my seat completely humiliated. That night, I went home crying. My mom asked what was wrong, and when I told her, she got this look I'd never seen before. She asked me to bring her everything. My story, Mrs. Crawford's comments, all of it. Turns out my mom had been documenting Mrs. Crawford's behavior for months after other parents complained. She'd been building a case with the school board, but now she had everything she needed. My mom spent the weekend making phone calls to the VA office, pulling military records and gathering documentation. She even contacted my grandfather's old unit members who were still alive. The next morning, my mom walked into that classroom during first period with the principal, the superintendent, and a representative from the local Veterans of Foreign Wars chapter. She handed Mrs. Crawford a folder and said, "I think you'll find this creative writing very interesting." Inside was my grandfather's Purple Heart citation, his Bronze Star recommendation, and official military records detailing every single battle I'd written about. There were also photos of him with his unit and newspaper clippings from his hometown about his service. But the best part was the last page. A letter from the Veterans Administration confirming that my story matched official military archives, down to specific dates and locations. Mrs. Crawford's face went white as my mom continued. "You called my son a liar for honoring his grandfather's sacrifice. You humiliated a child for sharing his family's military history." The superintendent started asking questions about Mrs. Crawford's teaching methods and classroom behavior. Other students began speaking up about her constant insults and favoritism. The VFW representative stepped forward and said they'd be investigating whether her comments constituted harassment of a military family under federal education guidelines. Within 2 weeks, Mrs. Crawford was fired. During the school board meeting where they announced her termination, my mom stood up and said, "Maybe next time you'll think twice before disrespecting a Gold Star family." I got an A on that story, and it's now displayed in our school's veteran memorial case, right next to my grandfather's photo.